Understand, you're the one who gives my life color. There's no another. With your hand in mine, let me go by your side. Let me go by your side. I wanna sing in the sunlight. I wanna wake up with you by my side. Without you, there is no tomorrow. We could be in for the best ride. Want this to last for the rest of our lives. Without you, there is no tomorrow. Sometimes I wonder where you came from. You are special, yeah, you're special. Everything about you is so beautiful. I am all yours if you let me stay. You're the one who gives my color. There's no another. With your hand in mine, let me go by your side. Let me go by your side.
What's up, guys? So I see Nacho's got to leave, so we're going to go ahead and start this thing off. Welcome to Wednesday night, what do we call it? Wednesday night studio sessions. This is kind of the second episode, but I just want to hang out with you guys. Had such a good time last Wednesday, so I'm looking at the same screen you guys are looking at, so we'll see what happens with the chat. I'm trying something new tonight, so I kind of wanted to look at you guys. I wanted more of a wider shot because I want to, you know, show off some of my toys. But looks like I'm not in the middle. That's not going to be fun. All right, so let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got Nacho Rolling. We've got Termination. We've got Bertram Photography. We've got Super RC Flyer. What's up, guys? So I'm excited. We already have people in here chatting. Last week we had one guy chatting for, it was like a half hour before anybody else spoke up. So I'm going to try to promote the live chats and let you guys know when everything is happening. If you see me looking over here, I've got my main computer over here, and I've got a laptop in front of me tonight. So we're going to try this out. I've got the webcam kind of on wide angle, and it's kind of pointing this way. So we'll see if this works out any different, guys. I'd like to get a house with a room that I can actually do this in, but for now we're hanging out in the house. Now there was a post today for a live chat, so I don't know if there are two live chats going on. So I hope, actually let me check. Bear with me, guys. I'm learning how this whole internet's works. So talk amongst yourselves. What's up, Brent Newman? Good evening. All right.
The QuickBooks Self-Employed app gives contractors...
Okay. So we're going to go to videos. We're going to go to the teaser. It was viewed by 36 people, so we might have a good chat tonight, guys. So I'm going to check that.
I use QuickBooks Self-Employed to maximize my tax deductions.
All right.
Mileage, travel expenses, meals, and entertainment. Each deduction alone doesn't add up to much. But altogether, it adds up to a lot.
All right, so we're gonna go to live.
How to put more money in your pocket.
We're gonna watch the ad, so I give myself a nickel.
Self-employed from the App Store. Then create an account.
All right, there's 12 people in the chat. So it looks like the link that I sent out earlier comes here. So we're good to go, guys. So yeah. Okay, Termination is transitioning to Android. So why are you transitioning to Android, Termi? I'm a proponent of using everything. So I have some Android devices, I have some iOS devices, I have a PC, and I have a couple Macs. So why are you going to Android? I think Android is more fun, but it's also more risky. I think it's a whole lot easier to get your information stolen and crash your device if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what you're installing than it is on a Mac, or on an iPhone. But iPhone is closed and you can't do as many things on it on an iPhone that you can on an Android. But just curious, Termi, why are you moving to Android? Most drone stuff is Android or iPhone. Okay, that's valid. So what drones can you not fly with the iPhone? I'd be curious. Besides the ones that come with screens and tablets in them, those are Android. But the only reason they're Android is because that's an open operating system that people can build apps in and get them approved faster. So I put on my new Christmas shirt for you guys. Hope I'm sexy enough for you tonight. Bertram Photography. Really enjoyed the Anafi Pano video. I hope the weather gets a bit better here so I can go out and try it myself. Yeah, man. That's my favorite thing about the Parrot Anafi. I don't think it's necessarily the best drone. I have other drones that can fly farther, and I think the camera on the Parrot Anafi is awesome, and the capabilities of being able to point up is something that I've wanted for years. Okay, so Termi's going to do iPad and iOS as well. So he's not moving to Android, he is adding Android. Cool. Yeah, man. Bertram, the Parrot Anafi for me is the most fun drone that I have. Just because, I can position it in the sky just by using a map. And as long as I got my math right, which I've been known to flake a little bit. But, yeah, man, I just love my Parrot Anafi. I'm on my second Parrot Anafi, so it's pretty cool. Wrestler Mania, what's up? Hey there, Sean. How are you tonight? I saw you were talking about the Pocket, so I wanted to do a quick check-in. All right. There's the Pocket. So far, I love the Pocket and I hate it at the same time. I have a love-hate relationship with the DJI Osmo Pocket. And it all comes down to silly engineering decisions that I think they made, and then just some quirks that are in it. So, in my opinion, the focus is not correct yet, and I think it's because the DJI Osmo Pocket moves and tries to focus all at the same time, and I think it's just trying to do too much. So I've got, let's see how close we can get this. I don't know how to do it without getting my fingers in the way of something. So this is the DJI Osmo Pocket. This is the wheel that has two buttons on it, and it has a little switch right here. This is a custom bike mount that I bought off Amazon, and this is a wireless adapter which I didn't know this, and I talked to Nacho, he got his before I got mine, that it does not have a 1/4-20 on the bottom of it. So that was, when I opened the box, well actually when I talked to Nacho I was depressed, but then when I opened the box to confirm myself, I was really frustrated. So I've been telling people for a month now that there was a 1/4-20 on this, but there's not. Still, there's no way to plug a microphone into it, so that's not available. But the reason I have this mount on it is because in order to use, I didn't get it out. Give me 1 second. Oh wait. Never mind, I had it out. The reason I'm really frustrated with it, guys, is that this is the GoPro mount, and it has these little nubs in it, and those go into this hot shoe. So you got your little hot shoe, and that's where those little nubs go, right? Oh. But you can't put this on. You can't use this accessory with this accessory. And that's a little frustrating. Like, it all came in a box together. Why doesn't it all work? I'll take this guy off and I'll show you. These little hot shoe adapter things are crazy. And I'm gonna lose them. So, but we're gonna take this off and I'll show you guys this. I'm super happy about this. But, so this adapter goes on like this. Oh. Okay guys, so that's how the GoPro adapter goes on the Osmo Pocket. But now you have no access to your hot shoe adapter. Okay guys? So you can use the wireless, but you can't use anything else with it. Alright guys? So I think that's silly. Now some of you might be like, well, the reason they did that is because you can't, you know, if you got it strapped onto your chest, you got it strapped onto your bike, you don't need any of those other things. But I would love the ability to adjust what's on the screen to reframe my shot if I was on a bicycle or anyway. So if you use this, you're going to have to use the wireless adapter and then use your phone, right? So if we take this off, we can put this adapter in. Okay guys, but now there's no way to mount it to a tripod. So I've got wireless capabilities, but I can't put it anywhere. Right? I mean, it'll stand up. It's got a little, you know, it's got a little base, so it can stand up. But it's a little floppy. I wouldn't want to sit this in the wind like that. I would much rather screw it into a tripod and mount it. So I saw this on the forums, and I actually watched a guy design this for 3D printing, and it was not made out of metal. But this, what I love about this adapter, guys, it's made out of aluminum, okay, CNC'd, and on the bottom it has 2 1/4-20s, and on the top it has a 1/4-20 and a 1/3. So you can screw microphones and all kinds of extra things into the side of this. And you can use your rolling wheel and your wireless adapter. Now if you read what it says for Osmo Pocket, and you put it on that way, then you've got something sticking out of this side and something sticking out of that side. So I flipped it upside down, and I put it in so it doesn't cover up the buttons. Saw a video where someone put the GoPro adapter on upside down somehow, and you could use the attachment. Mine did not come in yet, so confirm that. Alright, I'll do that in a second. So this is what happens when you do this. And so you've got a 1/4-20 sticking up here, so you can put a little microphone, or you can put an adapter sticking up here. You can still use the power wheel, and you've got a place to put it on the tripod. So Resler Mania wants me to confirm. So I think I saw Captain Drone do it. So I'll show you what happens when you use it upside down. This is interesting, guys. I need to figure out how to do this. I've got you on I've got a laptop, a cam, and a little tiny little spot on my desk. But we'll get better at this, guys. We're going to do it every Wednesday night, and so in a couple weeks I'm going to be a pro at this. So Resler wanted me to put it upside down. Okay, so in order to get it to work upside down, you have to take away the wireless capabilities. And then if you put it upside down, the only way to use it so that you can still use the buttons is to hang it off. Now it'll hold, okay guys? It's firm, but you've got all this extra space where you can't do anything. I mean, it's not meant to do this, right guys? And if you want to get access to that button, my fat fingers can barely fit in that hole now. So I don't know, guys. I really wish they would just make them all work together. I had a 3D printed mount that was just... Let's see if I got it. I don't have it handy, but it was tiny like this. I really think, I mean, you can do this. It'll work. But I think it's fiddly, guys. So the other thing is, that's a little frustrating to me, and maybe I just don't know what I'm doing yet, which is a good chance that I don't know what I'm doing. So we'll turn it on, and why aren't I in the middle? Let's see. So I need to go this way. So when you turn it on, maybe I can see if I can do this upside down. Alright, so you've got all these buttons, right? You've got record, and then you've got, this is kind of a mode button, and then that's the flip button, right? And it's also the lock button. Okay, so this button acts as the trigger, and then I think this is different modes. So you can change it to follow me, or FPV, follow. But I don't know, when I was playing around with it, I couldn't figure out, I felt like these two buttons did the same thing. Maybe they don't. But something I've noticed in the phone workflow, as well as the just the handheld workflow, there are different gestures and different functions between the two. And I wish there was a way that they could be consistent. I'm a UX engineer, during the day. And one of my biggest pet peeves is when a developer will get requirements, and the requirements is just put a button on the bottom of the form that says submit, but they don't pay attention to consistency. And we've put a submit button in the application several times, and why does this one look different than that one? Because they didn't think consistency was a good idea for the user. So whenever companies make decisions like this, like, there are different workflows for whatever you're going to do. So you've got to learn how to use this camera 3 times. One with the phone, one that's handheld, and then you've got this wheel. Another thing that I thought was kind of weird, there is a switch right here. Okay, guys? And hopefully you guys can see this. But when you switch it, the wheel turns it left and right, which is kind of counterintuitive for me. I had a Canon camera that had a zoom, but the zoom, you push left and right to zoom in and zoom out. And I think the cameras that, you push the button in the front to go that way and you push the button in the back to go this way, is a lot more intuitive than trying to figure out which way left and right. Because whenever I'd try to zoom in with that camera, I would move, zoom in at the wrong direction, because I just had to figure that out. So this switch, when you go down, you go that way, and when you go up, you go that way, and then when you make the switch, then that's intuitive to me. Okay, you push up and the lens goes up. You push down, the lens goes down. When you switch it, you go left and right. I wish they would have made this a joystick rather than a wheel. And you can say that, well, they just did it to make it compact, but they didn't. They put a big old fat thing over the side here. They could have very easily made that a joystick. Okay, guys? Even like a little joystick that's on my Nintendo Switch would have been a better design, in my opinion. But, it is what it is, guys. If I had billions of dollars and I could make my own products, then they would all do what I wanted them to do. But, this is just me rambling on about what I think. But you guys probably have a different opinion, which is fine. I want to encourage on this channel and in this community to have varying opinions. I don't need, you don't need to agree with everything that I say. The biggest thing I want to do on my channel is make sure that you guys know that, it's your gear, it's your money. You figure out what you want to do with it. You don't have to do the things that I do with my gear. But I just, I try to stretch the limits. I try to go outside of the box a little bit. Termy says that the DJI Osmo Pocket is too small. I agree. It's pretty small, man. That's what excites me about it. Just because it came from DJI, they've spent years putting small cameras on drones. They understand gimbals probably better than anybody in the market, and but from what I've played, playing around with it, I think they're better gimbal makers than they are camera makers. Just because they've left some things out, guys, that I don't know that they're going to be able to fix. Like the autofocus is going to be an issue. I got a little stink bug flying around my office. I love stink bugs, guys. So Bertram Photography says, I'm thinking about getting into 3D printing to make some custom camera accessories. Any printer recommendation for someone who's starting out? Yep. Now, I haven't gone around and compared 3D printers, and I don't plan on doing that. The one that I bought, and this was just luck. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace, but it's called a Flash Forge Finder. And let me check this out real quick. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've started putting together an Amazon shop. I used to put affiliate links to everything, but then I got comments asking what video I put that link on. So I'm starting to build out idea boards. And what it's letting me do, guys, is whenever I talk about a product, usually I'll talk about a product and I'll put them in a playlist and there'll be several videos about it. And every time I talk about that product, you know, I'll probably have some new accessory that I bought for it. So I started, just like the playlist on YouTube, I'm starting to build idea boards on Amazon, so you guys can just click on the FlashForge Fusion and get everything you need. So I'm going to put a link in the description. Hopefully it'll let me put a link in. We'll see. So let me get this. Oh, nope. Talk amongst yourselves. Share via. Try that. Sorry guys, I'm used to using my Mac. So, what are you doing? All right. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, I'll put that link in. See if that link works. Yep, it worked. All right, good. So basically what that link is, Bertram, that's the link to my my idea board about the FlashForge Fusion. And that is a super cheap 3D printer, but I have spent probably days printing things out. Now the software I use is 3D Fusion 360. It's Fusion 360, and that's by Autodesk. And my wife is an instructor, so I can use her email address to get educational discounts. And so that's the software that I've used to design some products. But most of the things you can do just on Thingiverse, and then there's a lot of free applications out there. I just happened to get a good deal, so I purchased that. How about that dart thingy? You stick your 360 cam in and make it safe to throw while filming. Termy, I think that's called the Drifter. And even though I think the Insta360 One X is probably a pretty sturdy camera, just because my Insta360 One fell from 100 feet off of a drone and kind of went through the grass into the mud layer of the earth. And all I did was wipe it off with some baby wipes, and it still works fine. So I think the Insta360 One X is probably a pretty sturdy camera, but I don't want to test it, and I'm probably not going to throw my camera around. I did see a video where someone, and you can 3D print this on Thingiverse, but they took the Insta360 One X and they put it on, they turned it into an arrowhead and launched it up in the air. And that video was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know that. Even though I do some silly things, you know, I put cameras on drones and pray they don't fall off. But But and that was kind of the first year of my channel. I did kind of silly things like that. You know, I put a GoPro session on a DJI Spark and I flew it around, and put a Gear 360 on my you know, my DJI Mavic, and little things like that. But I don't know that I'd necessarily want to do that anymore. Yeah, man, the arrow thing's pretty cool. I also saw someone turn a GoPro session into an arrowhead. Something I have thought about doing is putting the GoPro session on a parachute and dropping that from a drone. But I'm also nervous about FAA rules, and you know, they keep changing, and I just want to make sure that I'm safe. And this is like a publicly viewed channel, so I could potentially break the law, put it on YouTube, and you know, there'd be proof of what I did, and I'd get fined and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to go through any of that. I kind of like this YouTube thing, and I think, you know, I think this year is going to be the year that my YouTube channel jumps off the ground. Bertram, speaking of drones, what do you think of that new controller DJI just came out with, in particular its price tag? I think it's silly that you have to pay extra for a controller. I have the I have a Unique Typhoon H Plus that comes with a controller that does mostly the same thing. The only difference that I see is the screen. The screen on the new smart controller is very good. But everything else, in my opinion, is just like the controller that came with my Unique Typhoon H. There's also a smaller controller that came with my Unique Typhoon 4K. You know, these are, I think it's silly to me, especially, and I understand DJI's game. They control, you know, they control the market when it comes to consumer drones. They sell more. You know, their marketing game is better than many of the other companies. Unique has been in the construction business longer than DJI, and DJI is starting to come out with the enterprise drones, and you know, they're coming up with some modular ideas that are pretty cool, like the speaker, where you can like send a drone out and talk to someone, but I don't know if you can listen to what they say. But anyway, sorry guys, this stink bug in my office is driving me nuts. It flies like a June bug. So when it takes off, it's like my Unique Typhoon H. It's just like whoa, 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 whoa. It's neutral, so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's funny that that's all they came out with was a new controller. I guess they came out with the Pocket a month ago, but yeah, I think DJI drones are getting way overpriced. It's my opinion. I can get a better drone for a lot cheaper from Unique, even Autel. Like there's some really good drones out there. I think DJI is getting a big head. Termy said, I guess a session on a boat. Wait, I got a session on a boat that also takes off like a quadcopter. Oh, that's cool. So it's like one of those boats that has a drone on it, and the drone propellers push the boat, and then the drone comes off. That's pretty cool. Unique Typhoon H is what I was going to say. Yeah, Termy, I think the controller is just like the Unique Typhoon H controller, and my Unique Typhoon H Plus, the controller is different because they added a plus to it, but But yeah, man, the everybody complains about, you know, they think that OcuSync is like God's gift to drones and all that kind of stuff. Um, but when it comes to flying your drone, the controller that I have with my Unique Typhoon H, it has 2 antennas strictly for flying the drone, and then it has a whole extra antenna for the camera. And if you look at, you know, a lot of the other controllers, they just have a couple antennas. Bertram, I totally agree. Because of their position in the market, they can charge crazy prices and people will pay it. More competition to them is needed, like the Anafi and Unique. I agree. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a new drone that they announced. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it's like X Solutions Evolve. I know the drone's called an Evolve, and I think the company is called X Solutions. But that drone is looking really good to me. It reminds me of my Unique Typhoon 4K, or the Q500, whatever you want to call it. It's a beautiful drone. It's made out of carbon fiber, so it's really light but really strong. And then the controller has 2 screens on it. One screen is for like maps, and the other screen is for the telemetry. So you've got, and it has like flight paths in it, like the Anafi, and I'm just super excited for that drone to come out. I hope it's not a flop. I hope it's not one of those drones that we waited years for it to come out, and then all of a sudden it's just a piece of junk. Like that Nikon 360 camera I bought. Man, I wanted that camera so bad for 1.5 years, and then when I finally got it, it was a piece of junk. So let's see what we got here. Oh, Bertram, you saw a price on it? I haven't found a price yet. So $2,500, man. Well, I'm not getting that unless you guys start super chatting all the time. But I don't even feel like my channel is big enough to even ask for a super chat. But if you want a super chat, there's a little $sign down there in the chat that you can super chat. Did I say super chat? I probably said super chat. Yeah, I think I said super chat. I'm just playing with you guys. Yep. Yeah, it does kind of look like a Bugs too. You're right, Termy. Yep, that's pretty good. I'd like to ask you not to cuss on my channel, just because I've got kids and I know they're going to come back and look at this. But yeah, the drone is awesome. It looks awesome, but I mean, I haven't seen it fly. I haven't seen video footage. The other thing that's awesome about that, though, is the cameras are modular, just like the Unique series. So on a Unique Typhoon, I've got 2 Unique Typhoons right now, and I can switch the cameras out on them. I haven't tried it yet, but it has the exact same connection. So with that Evolve, you can buy the camera, you can buy the drone with the cheap camera on it, and then, you know, scrounge up another $500 and buy the other camera on it, and then all of a sudden you have the nicer version of the drone. So I really think that's a great idea, and I don't understand why they don't do that. Especially like the Mavic 2 came out with 2 camera options. Why the heck didn't they make that modular? You know what I mean? Like, I would have loved to have bought the Mavic Zoom, and then a couple months later, you know, when I've sold some things or made a little bit more money, then I could just go out and buy the Pro camera, and, you know, it'd be the best of both worlds. Or if they'd have come out with a 3rd version that had a Hasselblad camera on it that zoomed. I just don't understand. I don't understand when a product like that splits the market. You know what I mean? Like, why would someone want a camera that's 3 years old that zooms and also want to buy one that has a 1-inch sensor but it doesn't zoom. Like, why didn't you just put a zoom lens on the Hasselblad? There's not that much that goes into zooming, guys. You got a whole bunch of lenses, and you got one lens that goes in and out. That's the difference. So, you know, and an easy way to test that is you get an old SLR camera or a new SLR camera, digital SLR, and you just look at how the lens works. When you twist it, that lens moves back and forth. So, anyway, crazy guys. I'm really liking this setup. What do you guys think about tonight's setup? Is this better than last week's setup? I feel like I have more room to do things. You know, I can have something in my hand and I can demonstrate it and you guys can see it. So, a little bit more well lit, and so yeah. My family's going to come home at some point, so this little backdrop I got going on here is see-through, and the rest of my house doesn't have lights on. So if they come home and they turn on the lights, chances are this little area right here, you might see some people, you might see some movement. So Termy's trying to find a good deal on a Bebop 2 with included Sky Controller 2. Termy, I've seen some really good deals on the FPV. It's like, I think it's called the FPV kit with the Bebop 2. I love my Bebop 2. I haven't flown it in a couple years, but well, I take that back. I flew it last year, towards the end of the year. But I just have too many drones, guys. I can't fly them all the time. And this YouTube channel, I'm starting to like just buy things to review on the channel, and then I don't ever use them again. So I'm trying to turn over a new leaf this year and actually use the gear that I talked to you guys about. You know, lately I've been doing some 360 videos intertwined with my regular videos, and I want to use all the gear that I have to make this channel better for you guys. And let me ask you this. We've got 6 people in here. Do you think it would be better for me to make less videos in a better quality, you know, with scripted dialogue and all that kind of stuff? Or do you like the kind of random what's in Sean's head today type videos and I put more out in a week? Because if I put out really nice videos, then I thought about doing 2 videos a week, but I think I could probably crank out 3 or 4 videos a week if I, you know, I don't put as much time into scripting and I just speak off the cuff like I do, and there's probably going to be some ums in there and some of the English teachers are going to get on to me. But what do you guys think about me doing a lot of videos that are good or less videos that are great? So Termy said the first. Does that mean more videos at a lesser quality? I think that's what that means. So Bertram's pretty happy with my off-the-cuff stuff. Okay, so there's two votes for just keep doing what you're doing, Sean, and I'm okay with that. I feel like there are enough people out there that make really polished videos, and not, you know, there's less people just making opinion videos off the fly. Like when I started my channel, I would just take the camera out and set it up, and I'd just record for a half hour, and then I'd take what I got out of it and put it on YouTube. Well, good. That makes me happy about where things are going. I've noticed kind of an uptrend, if that's what you call it, on my subscriber base. So I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I did get a weird notification from YouTube. I think it was yesterday, and then it was a video that your videos had 250,000 views or whatever. You should celebrate by posting it again or something. And it's one of those videos that I had no idea that anybody was going to watch it. And it was just a weird idea. It was like how to put, I think the title is How to Make Your Car Smart for $30. And it was putting an Echo Dot in my car. And that video, people just...
Do you want to shop for Dot?
No.
All right.
Sorry, I just woke up Alexa. So, and it was just, half of the comments on that video are people yelling at me for driving and making a video at the same time. And, you know, I try to, you know, I spent a couple months just justifying that I just had a camera going while I was talking and I was driving. I didn't see the, you know, I hardly ever looked at the camera, and I was only going like 10 miles an hour in traffic anyway when I was making the video. And so anyway, Termy said I made some cool intros and outros. Now, is that my branding intros and outros where it has like Shawnide Studios coming in and out, or is it the 360 camera stuff that I've been doing lately? I'm starting to really get into the Tiny Planets. I'm so glad they added Tiny Planet functionality to Final Cut Pro. That's pretty cool. Man, I'm getting parched. I'm talking too much. I know, Termy. It's like, and the comment that I started making was, I was trying to compare it to having my wife and my 2 kids in the car. That, to me, is the most distracted I ever am when I'm driving. Because my wife, you know, might be trying to figure out where we're going to eat at a restaurant, and then the kids are in the background, you know, they're in the back seat yelling at each other, and someone's honking out there, and Tennessee drivers are crazy. And to me, that's way more distracting than me driving 10 miles an hour talking to myself. So I don't know what's going on there. Oh, we got someone else. Pain and Panic Studios. What's up? Oh, sorry. Something I want to tell you guys to do is, if you're in the chat and you roll over someone's name, and you click the 3 dots. Oh, wait, no. Dang it. I'm not used to this. If you click on the 3 dots, there's an option to go to their channel. And if you right click on go to their channel, you can open that up in a new tab. So I would like to encourage you guys to see everybody that's in the chat and go subscribe to their channels too. You don't have, I mean, I'm not forcing you to subscribe to anybody's channels, but at least check them out and give them a shot. I don't always subscribe to people that don't have any content, because I feel like they're just a user that got an account to make comments. So I don't know that they even care about subscribers. But if someone has a lot of, you know, has some content, they've uploaded videos, yeah, I'd love for you guys to subscribe to each other. Just because I know it's tough to build a subscriber base, especially as a small channel. I think this time last year I only had maybe 600 subscribers, and whoa, my first Snapchat ever. What's up, Brent? This is for your butterfly video. That happened to be the first video I watched. I subscribed immediately. Are you talking? so I think that was the Insta360 one on my DJI Mavic, and there was like this little butterfly that, first of all, there was like a falcon or condor or some bird out in the, it's probably like a blue jay, but it was like yelling at me. And then this butterfly just kind of flew around and landed on my nose. There's no way I could have planned that, and it was a little crazy. So I really appreciate that, Brent. Thank you so much. Yeah, Brent's been on several of my live chats. Now, I feel like, Brent, are you from Nashville? I feel like your icon, like is it a possum, like a dead possum? I feel like your icon is similar to the one of the guy that I bought my unique Typhoon H from. Or wait, yeah, but I might be way off there. But yeah, that video was fun. And I kind of miss strapping things onto a drone. So a couple weeks ago, I bought the unique Typhoon H. Alright, sorry. I bought the unique Typhoon 4K Q500 from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. And you know, it's a unique Typhoon, so you can take the camera off. And so that's going to be kind of my test dummy drone. I only spent $200 on it, so you know, if it falls out of the sky into a field, I'm not going to be super sad about it. And I'd much rather that one fall out of the sky than the unique Typhoon H Plus that I spent over $1,000 on. Just surfing since I got my Spark. So are you surfing the web, Pain and Panic Studios, for Spark videos? Or do you actually surf and you have a Spark? Sorry, I think it's awesome. I've been watching a lot of surfing videos lately, just because with the DJI Osmo Pocket, I've been able to kind of track myself. And the video with the unique Typhoon 4K was, you know, it was done with the Pocket, and the Pocket kind of tracked me while I was making the video, and I was super impressed with that. Even though the focus breathing is still driving me nuts. But I was looking into the solo shot to see if, since I do drone videos, and there's a solo shot that has a zoom camera on it, and it, you know, it looks around. Actually, you put an armband on. It's like a little GPS sensor, so I could strap that onto my drone, and then this camera could follow my drone in the sky. Okay, so you're surfing YouTube. You live in Wisconsin. I love your cheese. I love cheese, man. And we have a place here called Drury's. I think it's called Drury's, and they have cheese curds, fried cheese curds from Wisconsin that are ridiculous. And I get them all the time, and I can't figure out which I like better, dipping them in marinara sauce or dipping them in ranch. But you know, whenever I want to snack on something, I'll go get me some cheese curds from, I think it's Drury's. They have they have custard there instead of ice cream. But I'm diabetic, so I can't really have that. But those little cheese curds are redonkulous. So good. So we got someone from Wisconsin. Actually, I don't know where you guys are from. We've got, yeah, I don't know where any of you guys are from. I used to have a girl on that used to come onto my live chats. Her name was Daniela. And I forget where she was from too. But she showed me a video of drone flying. It was a drone racing underground. And it was like in a cave. So I thought that was pretty cool. You fry everything. Nice. I love fried food, man. I love it. I wish I could just eat whatever I wanted to and I wouldn't gain weight and I wouldn't get high blood pressure and I wouldn't get diabetes. And I hated that all the good stuff tastes bad and all the bad stuff tastes good. So Termy's in New York. Cool. And then custard is healthier and has more flavor. I agree with that. Oh, Brent's in Oklahoma. That's cool. So my stream just got bad for me, but we're still going strong. So, man, I bet it's fun to fly a drone out in Oklahoma. It's pretty flat in Oklahoma, right? Here in Nashville, like, everybody talks about, like, can you fly your drone 4 miles away? And I couldn't fly anywhere 4 miles from my home point and still be able to see my drone. There's no way. Termy says it's freaking cold. Yeah, man, that video I put out the other day with the tutorial on the Final Cut Pro, I was flying my Panasonic and my fingers were so cold making that video for you guys. So funny. Like I spent probably 20 minutes setting up my Osmo Pocket and doing the intro video and you know, and then I packed everything up in my backpack, had the drone out, and I went to take off and the drone wouldn't take off because the battery was too cold. So I grabbed everything and I went back in my car and I cranked my heater up on high and I took my battery off my Panasonic and I just kind of sat it in front of the heater for a while. And I thought my battery was kind of room temperature because I took it into work with me, but I guess in the time that I spent making, you know, talking to you guys, my drone just stopped working. So that was interesting. Yeah, I think that's, Termy, I think that's the problem with my Unique Typhoon 4K. I thought at first it had a faulty battery because it'll fly for a little bit and then out of nowhere it'll say that, you know, low battery, land immediately kind of warnings will come up on it. And I'll obey those rules because you know, there's something going on, whether the battery's good or not. But it might be just cold because it's been pretty cold here. But my plan with the Unique Typhoon 4K is just to get another battery so that I don't do anything stupid. Last thing I want is anything that I'm controlling to fall out of the sky. So trying to see what so I'm using OBS to make this live stream, and it says that I've got you know, my stream is green, so hopefully that's pretty good. But that's why I like the SEMA X8 in the cold. Stupid batteries handle cold better. I've been an amateur photographer for a couple years, and last week I decided to get a drone and have watched a few of your videos. Cool. Thank you, by the way, on all the pointers for the Spark. If you're bored and want to see a novice fly, I have 2 videos up. But thanks again. Yeah, everybody go out and check, not right now because you're watching my live stream, but when you guys get a chance, go out and check Pain and Panic Studios videos. I love watching drone videos. I could watch drone videos all the time. Something else that I really enjoy is I have the Oculus Go, and I love getting in the Oculus Go and just kind of transporting to other places. So, you know, I fly kind of in the same 3 spots all the time. So I'm sure people that are like longtime watchers are like, can you not fly in the ballpark again? Can you go somewhere else? I'm sure there's somewhere else in Nashville, Tennessee that looks good. But the reality is, I do a lot of my videos on my lunch break, so I have to do them, you know, relatively close. That way I can eat, make a YouTube video, and get back to work in time. But yeah, I definitely want to see those videos. I get on these rabbit trails. I'll watch like racing drone videos where people are flying FPV drones around race cars on a racetrack, or I'll do, I don't know. I kind of want to get into race drones, like the little tiny drones that go stupid fast and they have a little GoPro on them. I really want to get into that, but I just don't have anybody to fly with. So I don't have a visual observer. I don't have, you know, it's just kind of impractical to go out and do that by yourself. So, so yeah, that's pretty cool. So you've got the DJI Spark. By the way, the DJI Spark is the drone that I recommend to anybody starting out. I don't think it's a good idea to fly a drone that's not controlled by GPS. I mean, let me word that differently. You can fly whatever you want to. In my opinion, nowadays with the technology that's out there, you know, even if you're going to get a toy drone, just get the Tello. You know, it's a GPS drone, or like the Mambo by Parrot. You know, those are tiny little drones that are toys, but will help you learn how to fly a drone better. But the DJI Spark, if you're just gonna get one drone, you don't have that much money, you know, get the Spark. What is happening? So I'm not used to being on my PC for a long period of time. I use my PC for VR, and I'm not used to just pop-ups happening all the time. So Pain and Panic, my wife calls it YouTube hell, because we'll both go to look at something and 4 hours later. I know what you mean, man. Those YouTube rabbit trails, especially now that I've got YouTube on my Apple TV, man, I will just sit there for hours and watch YouTube. You and 44 other people said the same. Get the Spark. Yeah. I mean, it's the best beginner drone out there. It really is. If you don't have to have 4K video right off the bat, the DJI Spark is a solid little drone. It's tough. You know, I've let my son fly it. He's crashed it a couple times. I don't have one right now. I sold it to get another drone, but okay, the Tello does not have GPS. Alright, my mistake. Don't get the Tello then. I had the Tello, but I did one test with it, and it was like, it didn't work outside. Like the wind just kind of flung it. Yeah, you love your Spark. Man, that is such a fun little drone. It's fast, it's spunky, and stable too. Yeah. The DJI Spark is the drone that I've bought the most. I've had 3 different DJI Sparks. And whenever I want something else, I'll usually sell the DJI Spark and get it. But yeah, at Christmas time, I was telling everybody that I talked to that wanted a new drone, I was telling them, start out on the Spark. Because they're easy to fly and they're easy to sell. So if you want to upgrade, you can sell it pretty easy. Yeah, man, Termy, I had a blast with the Tello inside. My first flight was a lot of fun, But yeah, it didn't do very. It's not definitely not for video. Yep, the Spark fits in your camera bag. It's just a it's a great little drone. I think my favorite camera bag, like the way that it's set up, is the Panasonic. I like how it's pretty much a water bottle size. So a lot of your backpacks have like a place for you to put a water bottle on the side of your backpack. And the way they engineered the bag, it has these two straps, so I can put it on the side of my backpack and strap it in, and so that's what I love about it. Ooh, I don't even know how long we've been on here. We've been on here for an hour, guys. A little over an hour. Sorry, Nacho had to go back. He was on his lunch break. Nacho's always up for a good time. So yeah. So what else do you guys want to talk about? Pain and Panic. We talked about the DJI Osmo Pocket in the beginning. I don't know if you were. I called you Pain and Pocket. Did I? Pain and Panic. We talked about the Pocket earlier, so if you want to talk about that, we can. I think it's about 80% a good camera. If they can fix the autofocus, or just an option to manual focus, like lock the focus where it's at so you don't try to refocus, I think would be great. Because a lot of times I just want to sit this on a table, like the teaser video that I did for this this live event. You know, it was done on this DJI Osmo Pocket, and it's a great little camera. I just wish it didn't bounce back and forth. Pain and Panic Pocket. Pain and Panic Pocket. Pain and Panic. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. When I do tongue twisters, I tend to end up cussing. So I don't know what kind of cuss word I could get out of Pain, Panic, Pocket, but I'm sure I could find a way. So I'm not going to do that right now. But Termy, were you the one asking me about the Panasonic goggle? I don't think that actually works. I found out where a guy used the actual iPhone adapter to get the goggles to work, but I was not able to get the goggles to work with my Parrot yet. And that's just because this silly, I bought this adapter. This little adapter that was going to go into my headset, and it has this on the other end, the lightning, and it was an adapter so that you could take the lightning out from your iPhone and go into an HDMI port. And so I was like, oh, I've got goggles that just have an HDMI in. That totally has to work, and it does work. But it has this little QR code on the screen that you use to download the app, and then the app doesn't it doesn't work correctly. So I couldn't figure out how to get the QR code off of the headset because I tried to stick it into one eye and it just didn't work. So that was a fail, but I've seen where people use there's actually an Apple dongle that converts lightning to HDMI, and I'm pretty sure that'll work. So I might try that in a future video. But I really wish they would do first person view in that app, because they, the Bebops in the old Free Flight app, just had a mode where you could go into FPV mode. So I'm not sure why that's not available in the Parrot Anafi or the Free Flight 6. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? We've only got 4 people in the chat right now, so I don't know if we're going too long. People are starting to drop off. I don't mind people dropping off. I just want to make sure that I'm talking about something that you guys want to talk about. So if you guys want to talk about something, let me know. We can switch gears. I'm pretty excited about some of the stuff coming out of CES. We talked about the Evolve drone that was at CES, and then there's a microphone by Shure that's like a mobile vlogging kit that you put your phone into. Pain and Panic Studios, good night guys. Love my videos, but dinner is done. Alright man, go get your grub on. Or woman. I don't know if you're a man or a woman. But thanks for hanging out. I think you talked about your wife, so I think you're a man. But I don't know. Powers that be don't like people flying full immersion FPV. Not really legal. FPV drones are fully legal if you have a visual observer. So that's why I've only made one video, and that was with DJI goggles. I got the DJI goggles with my DJI Mavic Air, and I made one video with it because I had another person with me. But every video that I've made since then, I don't have people with me to watch where my drone's going, so I have to keep them on. So anyway, so Pain and Panic had to go eat. We got 5 people in the room. Is there anybody here that hasn't chatted yet? Termy, that's correct. Must be line of sight, but it just has to be line of sight with someone on your team. Okay? So if you have a visual observer that's watching the drone the entire time, you're flying fully legal, even if you have goggles on. So, or at least that's the way it is, according to the FAA in America. I'm sure there are different rules in different other places, but you've got was it the pilot in command? The pilot in command is basically in charge of everything, but the pilot in command, as long as there's a pilot in command there, and you have a visual observer, the visual observer is the only person that must have their eyes on the drone all the time. So, and I'm doing that, and the reason I know that is I'm taking a refresher course just so that I can, when people ask me FAA laws on my channel, or even when I talk about, safe drone flying or responsible drone flying, I want to make sure that I'm fresh on the rules. So I feel like I have a responsibility to let you guys know what the rules are. But I also am wrong sometimes. So I always want to encourage you guys to find out the truth for yourself too. Don't take my word for it. I'm just a dude. But, well, that's a weird shot. I don't know what just happened there. Yes, Termy, that's true. If you're by yourself, it's illegal to fly with goggles because it's not in line of sight. But if you have multiple people, like even if you're certified, you have your Part 107, you can handle, or you can, like, I can hand my controller over to my son who doesn't have any certification at all, and as long as I'm in control of the situation and I can grab the controls at any time, that's still perfectly fine. Okay? Same way with line of sight. If someone on your team has to ultimately have line of sight, that's true. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the person flying the drone. The person with the controls can wear goggles and fly under the guidance of someone else. And the only reason that the line of sight's important is to make sure, to get the wide view, to make sure a helicopter doesn't come and hit the drone. Your drone doesn't hit a helicopter, or to avoid buildings, or to avoid wires or trees or whatever could come in the way of your drone. That's true. You are not required to have certification if you're just flying for fun. That's true. But even hobbyists need to abide by the rules. And if you're fined, the pilot in command is who the police or property owners are going to come after, is the pilot in command. This chat just got real. So what do you guys think about Wednesday night? What do you guys do on Wednesday night besides listen to me talk? I got a question. What's your favorite food? Mine is cheeseburger. Whew, I'm getting tired, man. I think we're going to cut this thing off in about 15 minutes. Okay, that's a valid point. Maybe that's what you say, but that's why some drone companies now make it so that drones are not fully immersive. I can agree with that, Termy. I mean, it's definitely safer to just not allow that capability. But if you think about it, DJI, who makes probably makes the most consumer drones in the world, have DJI goggles. And they have two pair. One for racing drones and one for not racing drones. Unique makes a goggle set. Parrot made a goggle set. Autel, I don't know if Autel does, but there are whole companies that build FPV goggles. Billy Coborn likes tacos. I like tacos too. I love tacos, actually. Tacos are my friend. Termy likes the Wendy's bacon double cheeseburger. Termy, have you had the Baconator from Wendy's? That's a good burger right there. Maybe a little too much bacon, but man, that's a good burger. Brett Newman, chocolate chunk, chocolate ice cream. That sounds good. So the ice cream's chocolate, and it has, is it like those, it's not chocolate chips, but like those big cubes of chocolate? That sounds really good. My favorite ice cream is Moose Tracks. And I wish there wasn't any sugar in it because I would just eat it all the time. But Moose Tracks is like vanilla ice cream with fudge ripples in it, and then it's got Reese cups in it. Man, those are good. Yeah, Termy's done with me. He's like, man, I want to go to bed. This has been a good chat, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Brent, again, thanks for the super chat. I feel super blessed by that. I really appreciate that. And I'm going to do my best to make good content for you guys. This is something that's really starting to turn out. You know, I enjoy making these videos for you guys, but it's also something that's starting to pay for itself too. So that's good. I mean, I've still spent thousands of dollars just to make videos for you guys, but the hope and the dream is someday that, you know, I can just get a couple products a month by the revenue I make off YouTube and then make videos about them, and not have to do graphic design on the side just so I can pay for the cameras so I can do a YouTube video for you guys. So I really appreciate the super chat. It's such a blessing. A bunch of companies make drones, but the government and public are getting pissed at drones. Yeah. Yeah, you know, people are scared of what they don't understand. And also people are like, drones are easily accessible by everybody. You can just walk into a store and buy it. You don't have to show an ID to buy one. You know, and you could really hurt somebody with a drone if you weren't responsible. Just like guns. You know, you can... I don't know if you have to have a license or an ID to buy a BB gun, but I could kill somebody with a BB gun if I wanted to. I remember when I was a kid, I used to try to shoot birds and stuff like that with a BB gun. So yeah, and like cars, I mean, people can get a hold of vehicles and they can be irresponsible and really hurt somebody with them. But I think the responsibility just kind of comes with the owner. I don't want to get political. I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to be safe. And I want to encourage you guys to be safe too. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I know I have, you know, part of my channel is all about my opinion. But yeah, I hear you, Termy. Yeah, I just pray that stink bug is taking me off. Yeah, I just pray that, you know, it doesn't become a huge issue, and, you know, we can all get along and we can fly our drones in peace. You know, share a Coke, fly a drone, hug a stranger. So it's 8:22 and I'm getting pretty tired. So I'm going to sign off and go play some Fortnite. So yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out, and we're going to do this every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's -6 on the time scale. So yeah, hope to see you guys next Wednesday. Come hang out and have a wonderful night, guys. Peace out. How do I do this? It's over here.